Today is March the 17th, 2021. Hereby call the meeting of the Bristol, Tennessee Beer Board to order. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Brewer.
Present.
Vice Chairman Ketron. Mr. Greason.
Present.
Mr. Vance.
Here.
3 members present.
We do have a quorum. We have a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. If there are no corrections or additions, approval is by unanimous consent. Hearing none, they are approved. At this time, I have a statement from the city attorney regarding our electronic meeting today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, the governor has suspended the provisions of the Open Meetings Act until April 28th, 2021. Sorry, yes, that is sorry. To the extent necessary to allow governing bodies such as the Beer Board to conduct their essential business by electronic means rather than in person. If you are attending without video, that is your audio only, you are asked to identify yourself by name and position when you speak. That is a condition of the governor's order allowing electronic meetings. In order to proceed with meeting electronically, the Beer Board should make a determination that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. If the members of the Beer Board need to have any discussion about whether it's necessary, they should have that discussion at this time. Otherwise, if the members don't need to discuss, they can just have a motion and second and a roll call vote as to whether meeting electronically is necessary.
At this time, I will entertain a motion to meet electronically.
I so move.
Second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Vance. I don't foresee the need for any discussion. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Greason.
Yes.
Mr. Vance.
Yes.
We have 2 items on the agenda. Both are applications for renewal of existing permits in existing locations. One is for a change of ownership. The other is for a temporary permits being issued through Machiavelli's and the race. It appears that all information application is in order and the prerequisites for these permits are also in order. Mr. Secretary, please call up the first item on the agenda.
Okay, the first one is for a new permit for the Express Mart that's located at 1500 King College Road. It was previously known as University C Mart. It is an off-premises permit. The application is complete, inspection's been complete, fees have been paid, alcohol education's been complete. There's no known adverse conditions, and Mr. Patel is here to represent the business.
Mr. Patel, you are not obligated to speak on your behalf, but if you would choose to do so, you may do so at this time.
Yes, sir. As long as everything is good to go, I'm ready to sell the beer and start the business.
Okay. Are there any questions from members of the Beer Board to Mr. Patel? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move.
Second.
Second.
I have a proper motion before us. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Greason.
Yes.
Mr. Vance.
Yes.
Mr. Patel, you have received approval for your beer permit. City will be in contact with you on any other matters that need to be resolved prior to selling the beer.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Secretary, the next item on the agenda.
Okay, this would be temporary permits, mostly for the racetrack, one for Rhythm and Roots, for Machiavelli's. Everything's been paid. We've got a good history with this vendor. Justin Peters is here to represent, but one thing to make note, he's opted to remove the West 1 and East 6 permits, which is number 2 and number 8 on your agendas. So he's only going to renew 6 of these permits, not all 8.
Okay, duly noted. Mr. Peters, you have the opportunity to speak at this time, address the beer board on this matter. If you choose not to do so, that is definitely your right.
Thank you for considering renewal of our permits and forward to continuing doing business in Tennessee. Thank you.
Are there any questions of Mr. Peters from members of the beer board pertaining to this permit? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move.
Second.
I have a proper motion before us. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Boer,
Yes.
Mr. Greason,
Yes.
Mr. Vance.
Yes.
Mr. Peters, you have received the required approval from the beer board. The city will be in contact with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. I don't see any other items on the agenda. I will note that our next meeting, if we have a reason to meet, is scheduled for April the 21st. Mr. Secretary, you've advised that there is not any business before us at this point in time. If there is to be any business, you will notify us to let us know if we do need to meet in April. Is there any other matters that we need to discuss at this point, Mr. Secretary?
No, sir. I do want to make the board just aware, the Weigel's convenience store that's opened up across from Pinnacle, they were approved last year, waiting for the inspection. And since they just now finished the construction, I went out this week and did the inspection, and I'll be issuing their beer permit this week also.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other matters to be discussed or brought before the beer board by members? Hearing none, I have entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second.
That was not an emotion, a motion. I have a motion, a second, a proper motion before us. Without objection, unanimous consent, we are hereby adjourned.